Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I just wanted to come and do a reaction to this video right here because it's just getting so ridiculous. I couldn't help but do a reaction of my own. Now, if you don't know who Keesha Anderson is, aka Keesha Kaylee, she's a YouTuber. I've been watching her for many years, from her days at university until she has evolved into a so-called businesswoman. She used to be with a girl, so she claimed to be lesbian, and then she and the lesbian she neglected, and then she decided she wasn't lesbian no more and she was going to be with men. Right after her involvement with the girl, she started I don't know what it was with this guy, but apparently the guy saw the craziness in this girl, so he jumped ship, and then came this new guy, which was in the form of Jeremy. Now, this is where I stopped watching Keesha because I just could not stand Jeremy. He got on top of my nerves. Okay? So we're gonna fast forward all of this until a few weeks ago we heard that a few months ago rather, it's been a little while, we hear that Jeremy has an outside child. Keesha now has 3 children for Jeremy, and while she was pregnant with the other child, this other girl gave birth to a son for Jeremy, and it has caused some issues. Now, after this happened, Keesha put out a book. She and Jeremy went in with a question and answer, and they made this girl look small, and they tried to make themselves smell like roses, and they are nothing but just they just lied. They just lied. A lot of lies. At first I was saying, oh well, it's expected, everybody's going to lie when these things pop up, but it has got way too much at this point. She has stated that this girl was a one night stand. No, the girl was there from 2018. She also stated that the girl has had mental health issues due to Jeremy. That was a lie. And now that everybody is hearing everything, everybody is now coming down on her. She's about to lose sponsorships, and so many different things are starting to happen to her. So now she has done this video to I don't know, to save face. Is it to save face, or is it to try to make herself look good again? I don't know. I'm about to watch this and to hear what type of bullshit she's coming with. So let's watch it together.
This matter. Now, within the last few hours, a lot of you guys got wind of her releasing a few videos that I actually did go and watch myself to make sure that I didn't have to go off of he said, she said. And after hearing her entire video from start to finish, I noticed that there was something that stood out to me the most, and that was I was no different than the person that I was just trying to paint her out to be.
Oh, please. Oh, whatever. Now she has started to try to play victim and make this about her. Girl, listen. Come on.
A couple of days prior to, by texting her, telling her it was very inappropriate to, you know, be discussing me, my family, and things of that nature. You know, I was immediately disappointed in myself because I distinctively remember the incident in question and how everything went down, who I was talking to, every single thing about that moment, that day, the situation, and how it transpired on YouTube. If you guys don't know, just in brief, at that time, a lot of people had, you know, found out about her and had started to try to, you know, entice her to tell her side of the story. And of course she was a little upset at that time with the sit down video that me and Jeremy had done, as well as the book that we had released. So she was venting and, you know, kind of sort of airing out a few things and her sentiments. And, you know, at this point, looking back in hindsight, I definitely completely understand exactly where she comes from now that I have been given all the information.
This girl just does not stop. She has had all the information. She has known everything from the beginning, every single thing, and she went out of her way to make this girl look bad. The thing she was talking about, oh, she talked to her about not mentioning her mother or her kids, that's bullshit. Keesha tried to silence this girl with a cease and desist, and now that the girl has actually come out and spoken her piece, Keesha, what are you trying to do, bitch? What?
For this situation, because at that time I didn't know every single thing that I know now. So I was extremely hormonal and going through postpartum depression. I was at a peak of my life where I had literally just given birth, and I'm still trying to take in the fact that the father of my children, the person who I was in a relationship with and loved, fathered a child outside of our relationship, and just trying to process all of that at one time. It was a lot for me, you guys. It honestly was. But ultimately speaking, no matter what is on my plate or what things I'm going through in my personal life, it does not give me the right to vent, to speak to talk about in any way, shape, or form, anything that is personal to anybody, regardless of me feeling like I wanted to get my piece out, no matter if I felt like I wasn't being heard. At that time, you know, I was a little frustrated because so many people, you know, were, you know, saying a lot of negative things to me and saying a lot of hurtful things to me over and over again, and I just felt like I had my hands tied. I had been dealing with this situation for such a long time, and I just made a really bad decision at that time to be venting to someone who I did not even know. But you know, this was a person who told me that they supported me and that they, you know, never had anything negative to say about me or my family, and they made videos, you know, always saying positive and uplifting things. So like I said, I kind of got lost in that conversation of saying, finally someone is on my side, finally, you know, someone, you know, believes me, and you know that I'm not as bad as people are trying to make it. And by feeling that sense of you know, I guess happiness or whatever, you know, I started to talk a little too much. And you know, I'm so sorry, girl, because that is not who I am. This situation and all of this bull crap that has transpired over the last few years has, you know, caused me to react and just make very irrational, bad decisions, and just not think all the time about certain repercussions of my actions. So I 100% take accountability, and I apologize because it was 100% insensitive for me to send any pictures, even though I had no ill intention whatsoever.
What did you really expect to happen if you're going to send pictures to a commentator, to anybody at all who wants to get clout out of this? You purposely did it. Stop lying. Take true accountability for what you have done. That is the problem people are having with you. You don't take accountability.
I kind of was just coming for everyone, you know, was telling me like, oh, you're a liar, you know, he's never been over there, you're always lying. And I kind of was just letting her know, like, look, like, I have no reason to lie. I don't know why people keep trying to make me be a liar. I also did tell her in my messages to please not repost any videos or anything like that of your child. But regardless, if I had never sent it or talked about it at all, it wouldn't be nothing to be posted. And I shouldn't be leaving such valuable information in the hands of a complete stranger, because look where we are now. And also to the commentary on your mental health, that is something I have struggled with in my youth, and I take very, very seriously. And I was very insensitive to just so casually bring that up. However, I definitely want to say that I had no malicious intention. I was not trying to make a mockery out of what was going on. Like I said, I was just talking to this other person and kind of sort of like feeling vindicated to be able to finally share my side of the story with someone who, you know, had a lot of positive things to say. Because, you know, over the course of these months, even prior to these last few hours, it just seems like it's negative video after negative video after negative video, and I've been personally taking the brunt of the whole entire situation. I've been literally the one that has been targeted with all the negativity and commentary, and people just, you know, making this an entertainment show for them. And
You made yourself the spectacle of all of this. You put yourself in the middle of this. You contacted people who you should not have contacted in the first place and made your statement. You did this. You. Nobody else but you. If you hadn't stayed your ass quiet and act like the baby mother that you are, this would not have happened. It's your fault. You're not a victim.
Not understanding that this is my life that I'm living and not allowing me to properly heal. But at the same time, like I said, I definitely want to publicly apologize for even having that conversation with her, because it wasn't warranted. It wasn't necessary. That was not me. I made a mistake and I'm owning it, and I say sorry. Hopefully you understand if you do, because at the end of the day, you still are the mother of my daughter's brother.
You are sorry you got caught. You are sorry it made it to the light. You thought this information was going to go out without anybody ever knowing where it came from. You did not know that this was going to happen. So you are caught, and people are finally beginning to see who the hell you are. So don't come on here and try to stubborn I, and the girl is the mother of your daughter's sip. No, you should have known that from day one, and you should have acted responsibly as a black woman, one, and as a mother, two. You are not a wife, Keesha. You are a baby mother, and you will remain a baby mother forever.
And one day they're going to come to a point where they are a little bit older and able to actually start forming a relationship, and their parents should not be going tit for tat. We should always be conducting ourselves like ladies, with respect, and always speaking out with the utmost respect for one another. So like I said, I wanted to make sure I took accountability for that, but also note that I never had any type of malice with speaking ill about, you know, your mental health or anything like that. I never had any type of negative intentions for that. So please do not think, you or anyone who's watching this, please do not think that. Like I said, I was just going through so much. I still am in the process of trying to heal from all of this stuff, because like I said, I just feel like I cannot catch a break. And you know, ultimately, like, this has been a very, very hard process for myself, and I'm pretty sure for you as well, because like I said, just recently I've been able to get wind of a lot of the communication that happened between you guys, and you know, just to see the extent of, you know, the communication and the conversation, you know, it really does hurt me. But like I said, ultimately speaking, regardless of how I feel and my sentiments about the situation, I definitely understand that you're a woman and we both were, you know, dealing with the same person at the same time, regardless of what public status I have or anything. Like, just when your feelings are involved and emotions are caught up, and someone is telling you one thing and you're believing it and you're putting your heart into it, like, you kind of don't want to believe, you know, anything contrary to that. And that's exactly, you know, how I feel. I wanted to believe, you know, everything that was been told to me, the love that I felt like we shared.
No, Keesha, you wanted to paint Ashley as a one night stand. You wanted to paint Ashley as a hoe. You wanted to come out of this smelling like roses and have Ashley be silent and sit down like a good little girl while you could look like the queen. Well, little Miss Princess, it all came crashing down because Ashley refused to stay quiet. So now everybody knows, and you're on here with a bunch of lies. A bunch.
Regardless of, you know, how I feel about you and your part in the situation. So I definitely want to say that. And while we're speaking on, you know, your part, I also want to say that I do apologize, even though I told you this when we met up a few months ago, that I apologize, but I'm going to say it again publicly, that I do apologize for even, and I want all the ladies out there to take my advice that, you know, whenever you're in a situation like I have been put in, you want to make sure that you just deal with the person that you are with, because the loyalty that is shared between the two of you is actually what should be validated, and you shouldn't be trying to go and talk to anyone regardless. And like I said, you guys, mind you, I'm fresh pregnant. This is the first time I'm literally having a successful, healthy pregnancy. I found out I'm pregnant with twins, and you know, this is supposed to be a joyful moment for any woman. And you know, it was just really, really hard, and I acted irrationally, like I said before, and I decided, you know, I'm gonna reach out to you. I want to make sure that I make this 100% clear. Never have I ever harassed her. Never have I ever created fake YouTube channels, Instagram accounts, or any of those things that, you know, have been alleged. I have never done that whatsoever. I don't operate like that. The times that I did reach out while I was pregnant, they were either through Jeremy's phone, because I would just text her from his phone, or through my own personal phone, and I can count on my fingers, it was probably 3-4 times over the course of 6 to 7 months. So I never harassed her. It was more so just me letting her know in case, you know, she had a misconception of what was going on. Like literally, like, I just want to let you know that this is my boyfriend type of thing. But like I said, regardless, we were both in the same boat. We both cared about the same man, and we shouldn't be on the internet going tit for tat with each other. Nor am I saying that we should be on the internet going tit for tat with him, because we do share kids with him. But I definitely want to publicly acknowledge that this isn't the type of way that we should be conducting ourselves when we all have children that are looking up to us to be role models for them. And yes, I wanted to take accountability for that. The next thing that I want to say is, while we're on the topic of me speaking to the other content creator and feeling like I wanted, you know, someone to be there for me and support me and, you know, be on my side,
This other content creator that you spoke of is a complete stranger. A stranger. Not somebody you've known for years. This person was a stranger. Somebody that you thought would not have any loyalty to Ashley whatsoever and would have brought everything to the forefront. You did not know, once again, Keesha, that she was a real woman, and she would have told the truth, and she would have exposed your nasty ass.
definitely want to take this opportunity to publicly apologize once again to Brittany. I definitely put her in a very awkward position when I asked her to defend me. I want to reiterate once again that never have I ever, you know, told her to say a lot of the things that she said in her video, but she did the best that she can do, and I can acknowledge that. I definitely understand that, you know, when you put someone in your business and you give them, you know, full control, anything can happen. And at the end of the day, you know, both of us have been affected by the situation. All parties have been affected by the situation. It's just given, you know, our audience, our spectators, even more ammunition to create more videos and try to speak on the situation, not really knowing all the facts. And, you know, it's just, like I said, was completely unnecessary. And the part that I gave, or me and Jeremy ourselves have given ammunition towards, is ultimately speaking the book. And although we did have good intention of writing the book, and at the time, with the information that I had about the situation, and when we all decided how we were going to speak about the situation in the book, you know, there were a lot of loopholes and information that I didn't know about at the time of releasing the book. And now that I know those, now that I know different information that has been told to me or showed to me, it definitely helps put a lot of things in perspective. I need to get out of this notion that I owe anybody anything, that just because I'm a public figure means that I have to tell you guys everything. I have this sense of like I said, since I worked really hard for everything that I have, like, I kind of want to make sure that you know, my reputation is in good alignment.
You want your reputation to be in good alignment. You want your reputation to remain good because you've worked for all of this, Keesha. So that is why you gather little minions to do your little work for you. Nobody is fooled. Nobody. You are fooling nobody. Your jig is up. Just stop.
And immediately, like, something like that getting out, that, you know, your boyfriend had a baby outside of your relationship, is really, really bad. So I kind of wanted to get in front of it. It was highly insensitive. Me and Jeremy both were the authors of that book, and although he hasn't really gotten as much scrutiny about his variation of it regardless, nonetheless. And like I said, I just want to also apologize for how you felt offended, for how you were portrayed in the book, as well as if you felt some type of offense for the sit down video, because like I said, we didn't have that type of intentions regardless of what was going on at that time. Sorry you guys, my battery died. I had to change the battery. But as I was stating, I wanted to make sure that I took accountability for the book, because regardless of what the adults had going on, or whatever animosity or tension, or even just everything that happened, because regardless, the only three people who really truthfully know everything are me, you, and Jeremy. But regardless of what the adults had going on, I should have still thought in retrospect about your son growing older. And also, like I stated, even though I did inform you that we were writing a book, I should have made sure that you got a copy of it before the release date. So I can definitely take accountability for that, because maybe had you seen the book or read the book prior to, we could have made some tweaks and, you know, made it so that you could have been comfortable. So I definitely want to make sure that I say I apologize. Lastly, I also want to take an opportunity to address you know, the fact of all of this and this whole situation transpiring, and you know, on the fact that regardless of, you know, the actions of Jeremy, I had an opportunity at a point to realize where things were going left, and I had to take full responsibility for not taking myself out the equation, and realizing that, you know, a long time ago, when, you know, I found out about certain things, instead of, you know, I should have given myself an opportunity to love myself a little bit more than I love my relationship. And I just wanted to make sure that I let it be known that, you know, I definitely understand that both of us women were hurt and lied to in this.
I just want you to know that nobody is fooled by those little crocodile tears. Nobody, sis. Nobody. You did this. You wanted to come out on top. You wanted to show Ashley that she was nothing. But it turns out that you are the nothing. You, Keesha. You. And I sincerely hope that you have learned your lesson. You have learned your lesson that you don't run YouTube. You don't run the world. The world does not revolve around you, and people don't have to shut up because you say so.
Situation, and we only could go based off the things that were being told to us and hold that to be our truths. You know, there's still time that the both of us as women have to look and realize, you know, how we could have gotten ourselves out of the situation. And for myself specifically, like I said, just realizing a lot of the lies that were told to me, a lot of the things that were done, and also him being honest at a point of telling me, like, hey, look, you know, this is my thought process, this is where I'm at right now with this relationship, and you know, I can try to suppress these thoughts, but I don't know, you know, if I'm able to do that. I don't know if this is a time in my life where I can do that. And you know, me trying to encourage for the sake of our family, and just try, because ultimately, like, I never had any ill intentions for our relationship. I genuinely loved him. I genuinely cared about him, and you know, we laid down and intentionally made children with one another. So I tried to do my part of fighting for that, and you know, trying to build through the things that we still needed to work out throughout our relationship. So like I said, I come to a point where I have to realize that, you know, there was some honesty that was told to me from his side, and you know, I just tried to move past it instead of, you know, acknowledging and accepting it for what it was, and you know, letting him figure himself out, and I can still, you know, be a great mother to my children and do what I need to do for my girls, with or without him. So yeah, I have to take full accountability for that, and with the information that I was given, with the things that I was seeing, as much as I could see.
The only parts that you cry at is the part where you mention Jeremy and oh Jeremy and oh Jeremy. You are not sorry for nothing else that you did. Nothing else that you did. You just, oh, well, Jeremy. No, this is not acceptable. No. Mm-mm.
The understanding that I did have, you know, I should have, you know, separated myself from the situation, but by me continuously trying to make that effort is probably what, you know, landed us where we are right now. And like I said, I should have just given him an opportunity to, you know, figure it out for himself, which for a point, like we really truthfully tried to do that with taking a little bit of a break. But, you know, ultimately speaking, you know, at this point, now that we aren't together in a relationship anymore, I just want to make sure that, and I'm really truly feeling, you know, our separation to, you know, the fullest. You know, just the fact that I'm trying to heal from everything that happened between me and him, and trying to process our whole ordeal, you know, and still have to deal with all of this internet back and forth. And, you know, like, I'm the one who had this career. I'm the one who worked hard when I was in college to be where I'm at, and I just feel like everything has been taken away from me. Yes, a lot of things, because, you know, I made silly mistakes, and you know, like I said, I can't, you know, look bad in the eyes of you guys no matter what, for being cheated on. But you guys definitely can look at me side eye when I'm saying or doing things that, you know, aren't the best of character for myself, and don't hold me to the highest standard of, you know, the morals that I speak so highly of for myself. But, you know, this is a time in my life where I feel short, and I'm picking up the pieces, and I'm building myself back up, and I'm understanding the mistakes that I've made, and I hope you guys do understand and accept that. But lastly, I want to leave you guys with this. My children should be off limits. I find it very, very hurtful that a lot of people felt it to be insensitive for the comments that I made, which they had every right to feel that. But then when you take my 2-year-old daughter and you speak out on platforms and diagnosing her with mental illnesses that you all just told me it was insensitive to do, and you do this to a child, that is absolutely disgusting. And anyone who condones that behavior,
Nobody has any right to speak on your children, Keesha. But you caused this. You caused this. You exploit your children. You put them up on a platform. You do crap like this and expect that the world is just gonna ignore you. No. This is a lesson to you to just stop. Stop being so vindictive. Stop being deceitful and go be a mother.
here is disgusting. My child has nothing to do with this. My children have nothing to do with this. I've been working very hard to secure things for them in their future, because in the Black community we aren't always afforded those opportunities, and I want my daughters to have that. Please don't take that from them. Please don't put them in this. Leave the children out of it, because the things that you guys are saying and leaking my address where my children lay their head, and for me to have to be on guard with the security of my building to ensure that the people who are showing up to my property now, trying to come to my unit, do not cause harm for my children. My children are innocent. We had to move to this apartment. For anyone who does not understand, when we lived in the house before this, our address was leaked then, and I had 2 minor children in my household whose safety was put at risk. So we made an executive decision as parents to move here and pay 2 rents, paying over $7,000 for those last few months in total, just to ensure the safety of my children.
You keep putting these children forward, trying to gain sympathy from the rest of us out here who knows what the kind of bitch you are. If you weren't doing certain things, you would not have to move and pay $7,000 in rent. No, you would not have to do that if you were acting right. Every time that something happens to you, it's your fault, nobody else's fault. And if somebody leaked your address, you caused that up on your own self.
And for you guys to make a mockery out of this situation, be mad at me, don't be mad at them. Understand that I made a mistake, and that's not who I am as a person. It's simply a mistake. It's simply a mistake. Granted, the situation, I'm pretty sure you all can resonate with, okay, you can believe that this genuinely was a mistake. It really was. But my children don't have anything to do with this. They don't have anything to do with this. So I ask you guys to leave them alone and leave them out of it. And please, you guys, don't encourage, don't repost, don't reshare those types of information, because legally I am handling things. I am, and I have to, for the safety of my children. And I just want to leave you guys off this video by saying that, once again, I am taking full accountability for the things that I have done wrong. And I'm so sorry for the people I have let down and disappointed. And moving forward, I know exactly how to conduct myself